Hi, I'm Amy. Welcome into my channel. Today's video is very exciting because I'm doing my second collab with my friend DubsBeautyDiary. Today we are going to be ranking all of the shades in the Huda Rose Quartz palette. We both really love this palette so much for different reasons, and I am so interested to see what she does in her rankings. If you are not familiar with Dub's channel, please go check it out. I'll have her video and her channel linked below so that you can go check her out. She's also on Instagram as well, and I really like watching her content over there as well. I've said before, Dub is somebody who inspires me to step out of my comfort zone, the warm neutrals, when it comes to color, and I really find that very inspiring. So if you want some inspiration, kind of step out of your comfort zone, she's definitely going to be a good one for you to go follow. So let's get into the ranking of Huda Rose Quartz. I'm going to start with my least favorite, and I'll talk about each shade in a little detail as we go along. So my least favorite shade in this palette is the shade Quartz. Now, in looking at it, that's a color that's right up my alley, but this shade is really mostly a texture problem for me. I don't know what it's trying to be, and it could also be because I think it keeps getting hard pan. So I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a matte, if it's supposed to be a shimmer, is it supposed to be a satin? I don't really know, and I just really don't like using it at all. My number 17 shade is going to be this shade Mantra. Now Mantra is just a really dark shade, and I don't gravitate towards super dark colors very often. When I do use Mantra, I personally use it as an eyeliner, and that seems to work best for me, and I can use it in smaller amounts. Number 16 is going to be this shade Empowered. Again, kind of for the same reason. It's very dark, and it's a shimmer, and I don't really put dark shimmers on a very wide space on my eyelid. I tend to put those on the outside if I do use a dark shimmer. So that's kind of what I do with that one when I use it. My number 15 shade is this shade Precious. It's just because it's a gray tone, and I don't love gray tones on myself, but I do find that it works really nicely with the pinks and the purples in here. So I don't mind it in that way, but if I'm looking at it by itself, that's definitely not a shade that I'm going to gravitate towards. My number 14 shade is the sticky shade Lovestone. This is the one that has the gel almost and the little beads inside of it, where it's not really so much of a color as it is kind of an eye primer, which is supposed to help the shimmers pop a little more, and it does do that, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing for me, a weird texture and all of that. Okay, so now we're going to get into some shades that I love. I think they're beautiful. I don't not like the shades. It's just, they are very sparkly, like very sparkly. And if you're someone that loves wearing super sparkly things, then these are going to be for you. I do wear them, but just very lightly, very small amounts. Number 13 is going to be Blissful. And this shade is so unique. When I was swatching it out, it really kind of has like a brown undertone almost, and it's very interesting. I really do want to try to use that shade more often, so I'm hoping to be able to do that. Number 12 is going to be Moon Magic. Just look how sparkly that is. It is gorgeous. It really is. It's just, man, I live in a really small rural town, and I already wear more makeup than everybody else in my town, and if I put that on my eyes, everybody's going to be like, who does she think she is? It's so beautiful. It has pinks and purple and like blue glitter in it. It's so beautiful, but just a little too much for me. 11 is going to be Cosmic Love. For the exact same reason. It's purple shimmer with blue shimmer in it, and purple and pink shimmers, and with like a purple base, where this one is more of like a white base. This has the same glitters, similar glitters just with a different base, a darker base. And it's so pretty, but just use it in really small amounts. So number 10 is going to be Radiate. And Radiate is kind of a gray tone, but it's a little more on the purpley side of gray tone. So I like to use that in my crease, and it is a really great blending shade, and it does work really well with this lilac purple, and it does work really well with the Precious gray shade that I wasn't super crazy about. Number 9 is going to be the Pink Happiness. Happiness, I think, just complements all of the sparkles in here very, very nicely. It is just something that I feel like is a great crease shade, and if you take a little Cherished and kind of blend that out even more, you'll get just a really sweet, soft, great, very great look for like Valentine's Day or something like that. Number 8 is going to be Aura, and it's this kind of red clay looking color. I like that color as a deepening shade for my like outer crease corner, or just the outer corner. Using it as an eyeliner too is really cool, and it just works for me a little better than this super, super dark shade Mantra. Number 7 is going to be Energized, and that's this sort of like I don't know, silvery gray, taupey kind of shimmer color, and I really do enjoy putting that one on my lid a lot more than the other ones because it's just a little more natural to me, and it's really, really pigmented. It's almost like a chrome. That was the word I was looking for. It's very kind of chromy. I really think that's so pretty. Number 6 is going to be Self Love, and this shade is so special because it's this white that is swirled in with a pink. So when you swirl it together, it ends up looking mostly pink. So when you swatch it, you do see more of the pink than you do the white. So it's really kind of a unique shade, and just sparkly enough, you know, for me, just sparkly enough for every day that I don't mind using that in my everyday life and going out and not feeling like I'm being a little too extra. Number 5 is going to be Cherished, and that is this light pink shade. Now this light pink shade is my newest pan. It's a baby pan, but it's there, and this is a great crease shade. But here's the secret of how I use Cherished most often is actually as an under eye setting powder, and that's what helped me get that pan. It just is, it's that similar color to setting powders that you can go spend more money on, and I figured, hey, I already have it in here and I really like using it that way. It's just a really good brightening under eye shade, so that's what I do with it. Number 4 is Joy. Joy is the pink kind of satiny sparkle, like this white color. It doesn't have a lot of glitter in it, so it's not super, super over the top, but it blends out really well, and it's just a really, really sweet color that you can put with any of the mattes and it'll look really nice. Number 3 is Gratitude, and Gratitude, while it looks orange, it really does have just a nice neutral tone that I feel like works really well with these different shimmers, different satins, and some of the other mattes. You can really kind of make it work with all of that, and I feel like it's soft enough to go with these shimmers. There's not such a harsh contrast like with this one, the Mantra. It's a really harsh contrast with some of these really light colors. Number 2 is Serenity. I feel like this color right here, this lilac, not super, kind of a dusty lilac color, really does kind of culminate and like summarize this palette and the color story in one shade. I love using that as my crease shade, and it's just really soft, very nice blendable color. I love using that. And my number 1 shade is something that I feel like is like the dark horse of this. It's the thing that came out of nowhere for me because I wrote it off this one right here, Abundance. I wrote it off as that's too dark for me. I'm not going to do that. So I had this in a project and I had to use every shade a certain amount of times or whatever. It was my Level Up project pan, so I had to use every shade. I was trying to hit some pans, and so I had to use it. And when I did, I was shocked that this color is actually purple. And on my green eyes, that shade Abundance and the purple that's in it just really helps bring out the color of my eyes. I love Abundance so much. You can see the dip that I have going on in there, and I imagine that if I continued on, that would definitely be my next pan because I love it so much. This palette is really great for anybody, any color eyes, but because I have green eyes, I can definitely testify and confirm to you that this is a really great green-eyed girl palette. So if you're someone that has lighter colored eyes, then I definitely think that you would enjoy this one. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to go give Dub's channel some love and go watch her video and see how she ranked these. I'm very interested to see what she's going to do. And just in case you want a little more project panning motivation, I will go ahead and leave something here for you to watch. I'll see you in another video. Bye.